So, okay, the birds are going to, I guess they're just going to attack you now.
This doesn't seem very smart on their
Well,
part.
but there's 8 beacons and 4 of us. How are we going to harass all of them?
The eight birds are attacking you now.
Oh,
That's exactly
We
right.
did. We've already done half their health and damage, so I mean that's fine.
Yeah, it feels like if they don't want to run away,
I got the surprise round out. I think it's good.
so much for their animal instinct, right?
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that like taking half of their damage like out of seemingly nowhere didn't alarm them.
It did alarm them. They're flying in the air, and they were going to stay up there, but then like she's like, "We're gonna," but then your druid got on a flying carpet lily pad and said she was going to harass them.
I don't know, we had animals that we wanted to like scare off, like you make loud noises and then you go like, "Go on, get," and you chase them and make a motion. Like
Yeah,
this
then-
seems totally reasonable to me.
These ones aren't doing it, so
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with this.
and we aren't murder hobos.
I did not do this with the intent to murder. I did it with the intent to scare.
Uh-huh.
It's just because it does damage.
Need a component.
Are we on initiative? Should I roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well, we got 8 of these birds.
If only I hadn't used 2 packs of the talisman to show up Mrs. Fitzbiggins at Corrid chess.
Oh no.
That's the initiative I'm so used to.
0.
Excellent.
1.
All right. Okay. We're starting at the top of the order with Leonardo. You have 8 of these guys with you. I would say, so 3 failed. 3 of them look bloodied.
Are they all within a 40-foot cube
No,
in the air?
no, they're flying around. We'll say they're flying in a circle that's about probably it's expanding and contracting between 60 and 80 feet.
How many could I hit at most
I would say
in a 40-foot cube?
In a 40-foot cube, I would say
Yeah.
3.
Oh man, that's no great. I'm gonna hope that they gather together a little bit more before I use that. And I'm gonna cast Mind Sliver on one that looks the most wounded, so I need an intelligence saving throw.
They have an intelligence of. That's a 15.
Oh, my DC is 15.
Oh well. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, it does suck to be me. Well, no, I already had my moment. That's fine.
That's to suck.
I will take cover if there is any cover to be had.
With the top of a beacon, man.
You're on a large, flat, like column.
I could
200
hide underneath the what's it called? The
200 feet in the air.
What is this called? I can't think of the word. Brazier. Is the brazier set in the ground or is it like up? Where I could hide under the like edge of it.
It's built into the ground.
Oh well, then I'm screwed. I take cover behind Belshan. I'm small, right?
All right.
That's my turn.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins, it's you.
Yep. I'm going to drop a spirit totem in the middle of the lily pad. This is going to be a bear spirit. So, me and all the allies who are, I guess everybody in the lily pad, is going to get...
Are all of you like on the lily pad floating in the air?
No.
No.
I don't want to weigh that down so it gets less maneuverable.
I did say that Leonardo would do that, so Leonardo will be in there. He's gonna hide nowhere. He's on the lily pad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to lay. I don't want to weigh that down so it becomes less maneuverable if we're doing this.
Yeah, Turvum would be too heavy as far as maneuverability.
Well, I'll tell you
Okay.
what. The lily pad, or the spirit totem rather, has a radius of 30 feet. So I'll maneuver the lily pad so it's about 20 feet in the air or so. Basically, just to show the
Okay.
birds that we can follow them in the air. And so, as
All
long
right.
as these guys stay directly underneath the lily pad or close by, they should be within the radius of the totem. Anyway, this is going to be a bear spirit.
Okay.
So it's going to be 11 temp hit points. And we have advantage on all strength checks and saving throws while in the aura.
Yay!
Okay.
Cool.
Grapple's a strength check, by the way, unrelated.
Yeah. Brickroad knows what I was probably going to try and do. Let me see. All right, it's the birds. The birds. I'm going to make through. Oh, one of the birds breaks off and runs away.
Good.
The other two that are damaged do not, meaning that we've got 7 of these guys left. So I'll just delete one of these HP totals. And as they start dive bombing, they are going to. Mrs. Fitzbiggins is a rabbit. They're birds.
Yes.
So it'd be a strength. No, it's not. It's a grapple check. That is a 12.
12 to do what?
Grapple you.
Oh, well, I'm going to oppose that
Yep.
with my bear spirit enhancement. It's going to give me a 17.
All right. As that one tries to grapple you and throw you off of the column and fails.
Okay.
Question:
What?
Are they doing like a drive-by sort of thing?
Yes, they do.
Can
They
I
are.
stab at one with a dagger?
No, because they have flyby.
Oh, boo. Okay.
If one
I mean,
comes at me,
it makes sense, but I thought I would ask.
So that's actually a
Treble,
good question.
if one comes at me, I'm going to I'm going to have some fun because Sentinel plus anti-flyby, lol.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
a nat
one comes
1
at me.
on the second one that was going after Mrs. Fitzbiggins. That is a 9 on the one that flew after Turvum. So that's what? That's 3. Leonardo, that's a 10.
For a grapple.
Belshan.
Okay.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. I'm sorry. I'm making. No, these are attacks. The only one that tried to
okay.
grapple. Yeah. No, these are
Oh,
these are
that's
attacks.
that's
I'm
good
sorry.
because I did not beat the DC with advantage.
And the last 2 are they have dive attack and so if they hit you, it does a little extra damage if they dive bomb
And
you.
flyby, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But the one was trying to grab Mrs. Fitzbiggins off of her flying lily pad. Let's see. I lost count of how many that was.
That was like 5,
Okay, we got 2 more.
6.
And
yeah.
they're going to one is going we'll give one for we'll give another one for Mrs. Fitzbiggins. Mrs. Fitzbiggins, does a 16 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And that is 1d8 plus 3 plus an extra 2d8. So
That's a lot of ouch.
That's not pleasant at all.
17 points of slashing damage
Okay.
as it rakes across you and flies by.
Mm-hmm.
Belshan, last one's coming for you.
Is this grapple or is this an attack?
No, he's attacking you.
Okay.
And are you gonna? He's entering your threat range.
What is your ruling on how Sentinel interacts with Polearm Master? Like, do I
I mean, Polearm Master says when they enter your threat range, you can take an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Flyby just says they don't provoke an attack of opportunity when they leave your reach. So basically, you take your attack of opportunity when they get in melee to you. If you hit him with Sentinel, then he loses his remaining movement.
Just
But if you don't,
swatting them out of the air.
basically
Yeah.
you just swat him
Yeah.
out of the air. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Yep. That's exactly what I'm gonna do then.
Oh, no. No,
You know,
that's
I'm
not
gonna
what
burn
you're gonna do.
inspiration for it. I'm burning inspiration for that. But like,
Oh,
no,
no.
we need to. I'm throwing up my inspiration for this.
Yay!
Hey!
You'd love to see it.
You love to see it. That was worth.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Ooh.
That's total of hang on.
A lot.
Yeah,
19 or 20.
20 points of slashing damage
Oh.
from that.
As you swat this one out of the sky, it lets out a squawk of pain and moves no more. And I'm going to have to do a
The
morale
mood of the
check on it
carnival
after that.
sours.
Yeah. They definitely. Everybody disliked that.
Yeah. Okay. That's the end of their turn, and it's your turn now, Belshan. You just killed this poor bird.
Poor bird. Oh no, I don't think so.
These birds were literally just trolling an elf prince. That's all they were
And-
doing.
This is what happens to trolls.
This is what happens to trolls. Let this be a
Yeah.
lesson, internet.
They get squished.
I
by
will
the fighter,
thunder
or
wave you.
They just get squished by the
None
fighter.
within melee reach of me right now.
Don't troll
No.
the big ass
No,
dude
they're-
with the halberd.
Yeah.
They're currently like 30 feet above you. They were
Okay.
Yeah, they're currently about 30 feet above you. Yeah.
Pick up the dead
That's
body
like-
of their friend and throw it at them.
Best I could
Throw-
probably do is throw
in
launch
the
a
lit
couple arrows at
brazier.
them.
The lit brazier.
Yeah, I think I'm just launch a couple arrows at him with a longbow. Does a 9 hit?
9 does not hit. Goes wide.
Oh, second hit. Second arrow. How about a 10? Does a 10 hit?
Nope, 10 goes wide.
Okay, that's 2 arrows marked off. And that's
Those
it for
arrows
me.
are gone. Those arrows are so gone.
Gone forever.
All right, Turvum, it's your turn.
I don't know if I want to throw my limited supply of javelins at these things.
Okay.
So, I'm actually going to cast Guiding Bolt
All right.
at one of the wounded ones. He needs to make a... let me double check this. He needs to...
No, it's an attack roll.
Oh, it is an attack roll. But it uses my charisma, so... And how about probably not going to do it. That is a 12.
12 does not do it, as it barely goes wide.
Well, that was a fine use of a non-smite spell. Carry on.
All right, that's back up to the top with Leonardo.
You know what? I'm gonna fire an arrow at one of these. I have a short bow.
All right.
I missed with a 1. Oh no, halflings don't roll 1s. Yay. 13.
13 hits.
Really?
Yep. So roll your damage.
I'm just shocked. Oh, it's a 15 actually. Okay, cool. What do I don't even know how to roll for a bow.
D6.
D6.
Yeah.
D6 plus...
9 piercing damage.
All right.
I shoot the one that tried to grapple Mrs. Fitzbiggins. Since I
Is
didn't
it-
declare target.
As it lets a squawk out,
Yeah.
takes 9 points of piercing damage. Mrs.
Yeah.
Fitzbiggins, it's your turn.
I'm going to ready an action. Well, no, first I'm going to call out to all of them in the whatever druidic words I use that they can understand. Telling them, go on now, fly off, get out of here.
Get.
I'm going to ready
Go
an
on
action
now.
that if one enters my threat range, I'm going to grapple him.
All right. Let me see. I will. If you want to actually try and scare them off, I'll let you roll a intimidation check.
Will that use my action?
Yes.
Then no. I'd rather grapple one if it decides to come down on me.
Okay. And then it is their turn. Let's roll. I'm just going to roll a group morale check. Okay. Instead of looking cowed by the death of one of their number, they look enraged, and they are going to...
Oh, boo.
Let's see, we have there's 6 of these guys left. We're going to start... There's, what, 4 of you? 6... Everybody's going to get 1, and then somebody's going to get 2. Belshan's going to... You know what? Belshan, does a 16 hit you?
No.
Oh, also, it enters your threat range.
I had to put away and pull out my bow, so I
Okay.
can't do that right now.
So 16 hits you. Does a... That's an 8.
8 does not hit
And-
me either.
That's a 5.
5 doesn't do it either.
All right, and the other 3 of you are going to each get 1.
Okay.
As they are going to try and grapple you. So I need an opposed grapple check, okay?
From everybody.
From Turvum, we're going to start with Turvum.
Okay.
Turvum, that is, you need to beat a 19.
I did not do it.
Okay, as
Did
you
you roll
are
an advantage
grappled,
for bear totem? Does he get the benefit of bear totem?
he does
Oh,
get the benefit of the bear
right.
totem.
Still don't do it.
Okay. They do not have enough movement to carry you very far. So, but basically, unless something happens, you're going off the edge next turn. Okay?
Reasonable.
Leonardo, you need to beat an 8.
I choose to fail.
What?
Okay.
Why?
You're going
Because
off the
I'm-
edge next turn.
He's
No,
got,
I'm-
he's
no,
got
I'm-
when he can fly.
Oh, that's true.
No, I'm going to cast Thunderstep and teleport back and blast this fucker.
Oh, you know what? That's a great idea.
I opt to fail.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins, it enters your threat range and tries to grapple you, and you
Well-
try to grapple it back.
My trigger happens first, yes?
Right, yes.
All right. Then it needs to make an opposed check.
I'll just use this dice I rolled here. I rolled a 1.
I have a 17 to grapple him.
So you just snatched this thing out of the air.
Mm-hmm.
Just tiny rabbit lady. You're not tiny, you're small, but
Small.
the small rabbit lady grabs a medium-sized bird out of the air. Starts shaking it like it's a chicken. She's
Just
wringing its neck.
throttling it.
All right.
Is it
Well-
going to try to grapple me back?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, I'll oppose it with athletics.
That's a 20.
Ah, I've got a 3, so we're grappling each
You're
other.
just, you're just grappled.
Fortunately,
How does that
Neither
even
of you can
work?
go anywhere.
neither of us can go anywhere. We
Yeah.
both-
Oh, that's awesome.
which is fine. It means I'm not going over the edge. I'm not going off my...
Right.
And that is the end of the bird turn. And it is Belshan, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna take my halberd back out, and I'm gonna dodge because there's 3 of these bastards coming at me now.
The ones with Turvum and the ones with you can reach the ones with Turvum or Leonardo with your halberd. You have enough reach to swat at them.
That's true, but I've also pissed off 3 of them, so I don't think. I don't want to. I don't want to get hit. It's the thing. So I don't want to go
Deal with
flying off
what's
the
on your
edge.
plate.
Yeah, I'm fine dealing with what's on my plate.
Okay. All right, so you take out your halberd and what, dodge?
Dodge. Yep.
Okay. Belshan, Turvum, it's your turn. You're like in the claws of a medium-sized bird who's trying to like flap you over the edge of this 200-foot drop.
I'm under the assumption that if I were to break the grapple and or kill this thing, I would not fall down 200 feet.
Correct. You are currently over. You're not over the edge. You're like.
About the lily pad, right?
I feel like there's only one thing that I can do, and it is not break the grapple, but it's to pull out my axe. And this thing is going to get smited if I hit. Very, very
yeah,
bad.
that's a hit.
Yeah,
Well
that's a
done,
hit.
sir.
All right. So I'm going to just roll all this damage together. Second level spell slot.
Oh,
Ew. That's kind of terrible. That
That's
is
real
16
bad.
damage.
16.
Yep.
That's enough for the bird carrying you. Because it
He's
is one
dead?
of the. Yep, he is dead, and he drops you.
Yay!
I'm assuming that there's nothing else in range that I could potentially hit with an axe. So
No. Oh, didn't mean to throw that.
that means that I am done. Although I will stand next to, if I'm not already, stand next to Belshan.
All right, and move towards Belshan. All right.
Yep.
Back to the top. Leonardo, it's your turn.
so I'm currently grappled by a bird, right?
Right, you are near the edge, but not over it.
Okay. How many other birds are within 10 feet of me?
None, just the
None.
single bird.
So
Yeah,
it's just me and the bird.
just you and the bird. Bird. I hear that bird is the word.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna cast Thunderstep right now. I reappear on the lily pad next to Mrs. Fitzbiggins.
I have to.
Yeah.
That's a,
Belshan.
Mrs. Belshan. Yeah. Oops. I'm getting my Mrs. Belshan. I need a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. That is a 15.
Oh goddamn!
Stop.
Stop tying my DCs.
I mean, they still take half damage, don't they?
Yeah, I know, but ooh. Oh, those are 6s. So half of 17 is 8.
Okay.
So 8 thunder,
Really good.
Yep.
and it's real loud.
All right. As that bird lets out a squawk.
And then pop, I'm just right back next to Mrs. Fitzbiggins.
That was your bonus action. You still have your action.
No, that was my action.
Misty
I think.
Step is a bonus action.
No, this is Thunderstep.
Oh, Thunder Step is an action. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's
like-
an action.
Yeah.
Misty Step with a kick.
Lucius has done that. Lucius did this trick a couple of times.
No,
I
I
would
have
do those two
I
steps.
have Misty Step and Thunderstep.
Gross.
Okay.
But I have none of them anymore. I don't have a bonus action I could take. Yeah, that's
Okay.
my turn.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins, it's your turn. There's a halfling next to you now.
Okay. Still addressing this bird. Does this seem frightened? Can it see that its friends are like dying all around us?
Yes. And if you want to try and intimidate them off, I'll let you make an intimidation check.
Yeah, I intimidate it. I tell it that it's all fun and games until you pick on somebody bigger than you, isn't it?
Yep. Make an intimidation check at. You can use your charisma, or you can use your
Well, I'm gonna be using my strength because it's.
or your strength.
I got
Yeah,
an
I was
advantage,
gonna
but
say.
it's still
and-
5.
Yeah, and I was gonna give you advantage because.
Well, I have advantage already.
So.
You know what? Let's use my inspiration on that. Let's try to make this actually happen. God, it's still only a 10.
Still a 10?
Still a 10.
Okay, let me. I rolled a 6. So yeah, you beat you. You have frightened this creature, and it is. It lets out a squawk, and if you leave them alone, it basically it tells you that fine, they're leaving.
Yeah, well, I can understand what it means by it's.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll end the grapple and let it fly away.
right.
As a reaction, I would swipe at it with a dagger.
Wow, dude.
I can't speak to it. I'm trying to protect you. That's why I teleported back. Well, actually, no. I can't react. I have my short bow equipped. I don't do that. Whew, okay, good. Thanks, rules.
Yeah, if I'm convinced that they're gonna fly off, then I will let it go.
The bird in your hand is squawking.
Mhm.
It uses its turn and it flies off. It starts squawking for them to retreat. And the other birds, they basically scatter in like 5 different directions.
So we only had to kill 2 of them. Yes.
Yeah, you killed 2 of them and one of them ran away.
Fair.
Leonardo dusts himself off and looks at Miss Fitzbiggins and says, well, I think that went rather well.
When you guys start talking, the 2 corpses of the birds morph back into humans
Okay.
Oh,
It's a shame.
that are dead.
Very much a shame.
And then they very quickly decompose. And one of them very quickly decomposes, and the other one turns into stone.
Leonardo chooses to accept that that's an illusion.
No, that's actually just that's an actual in the book.
I mean
property of
the fact that they are turning into humans.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, no, we were told they were.
Denial? Oh, just denial that you
no,
murdered someone?
it's denial.
Okay.
Okay.
They deserved it, but it's
They were
also
literally
denial.
just messing with a man. They
Oh,
would have
okay.
eventually got bored and left.
I'll
You
keep that
murdered
in
them
mind
for-
next time I'm harassed on the street. Thanks, Treble.
I don't know. All I say is murder is a pretty final solution.
And Turvum will cross his arms. It's like, well,
They didn't have to be murdered. They could have all flown away when I damaged them.
We didn't start with
Yeah.
murder. We started with negotiation and then moved on to fear, and they didn't
Yeah.
respond well to either of those.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do? I'm going to defend myself. How
Well,
dare you, sir?
well, if you'd attacked me, I would be chopping off your head right now. I'm just saying.
So after about an hour, you notice that all of the beacons are lit.
Okay.
Can we
And
short
then,
rest during that time?
Yeah, you can take a short rest
Okay.
as you wait for all the beacons to be lit.
I get all my abilities back.
Warlocks are nice.
Warlocks are pretty nice. I don't get my pact boon, but I can do that trick 3 more times. So.
Excuse me, it takes 8 hours for him to light all 8 beacons.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, so it's a long rest.
It's a long rest. Everybody take a long rest.
Okay.
yeah,
Good,
sure.
I get my spells back.
Everybody
Or
gets
we
all
make
their abilities
faster
back.
by actually helping him light the beacons.
If you try to help him light the beacons, he will actually, if you approach him about lighting the beacons, he tells you that he has to be the one to light the beacons. Otherwise, the pool will not. The pool will only show the way home for the person that lights all the beacons.
Oh,
Leonardo will honor that request and keep that in mind because that's how they're gonna get out of here.
that's how we're gonna get home.
I would assume there's one of multiple ways home, but this is one of them.
This is a known way home, so
Yeah.
that's good.
Not just for you, but for the other people that are trapped here too.
Yep.
Don't forget, you also have to go back to thither and collect the cat, the kitten,
Yep.
the one that Brick thought was horrifying.
It was
Oh
pretty
yeah, we definitely have to do that.
Not because it was a monster, but because it was a cat.
Yeah.
No, because somebody asked us to. Is my reasoning.
Cats are just the worst.
So after the 8th beacon is lit, Alagurthas will approach you, and after a few moments, beneath the light of all 8 beacons, you see the reflected in the mirror the surface of a lake, a forest of ancient trees shrouded in mist. He bows to you, then leaps into the lake. As he plunges into the water, ripples fan out across the surface, and after a minute, the forest scene fades away. Before he left, though, he did give you some more information about the Motherhorn. He told you that Indolin, her castle is a grand and terrible theater, where she is basically almost always having plays performed for her amusement. And she's always looking for new actors, especially since she has a bad habit of turning them into birds, apparently.
Yeah.
But no, she's always looking for new actors, and she basically forces anybody that comes into her Motherhorn to perform for her. And he also warns you to be careful opposing her, because she can't be killed. She's basically immortal, and she is backed up by a lot. She has a lot of underlings.
We don't know her weakness, do we?
You do, actually.
Do we?
She can only be killed during an eclipse.
Right.
During the
Right.
eclipse, that's right.
Got it.
And she is deathly afraid. That's why she stole the
Split
shadow
it.
of that one lady and banished her from the castle because they wear these masks.
Mm.
All right, so making a note to myself. Note to self: at level 7, take major illusion. I'm assuming we're going to be level 7 when we move into the Motherhorn, right?
Correct.
I really hope I get a spell at that level.
All right, so now you guys are the only two places left on this map you haven't been to are Motherhorn and the Briganock mine.
I thought we were going to go to the mine next.
To the mines, yeah.
Okay. As you guys approach from the north to the mine, you hear the sounds of hundreds of tiny pickaxes and hammers chipping away at stone. It's emanating from the mouth of a cave that has fingers of rock reaching skyward above it. Statues of irate, hairy creatures with cloven hooves are positioned so that they lean around trees and peer over boulders, all staring balefully at the cave entrance. You recognize that the statues are depicting Khorids, and you were previously told that they were carved and then placed here by the real Khorids to frighten and intimidate the Briganocks.
They're functionally scarecrows. Do they seem to be working?
Well, there are no Briganocks outdoors.
Okay.
So you were standing in front of a cave entrance.
I would expect Turvum to take point going down into the mines.
And I will, although I'm a little wary of, these, since we are on the Feywild, that these wouldn't be like the mines back home, I would suspect.
Turvum, as soon as you take one step inside the cave, the tapping noises stop.
Well, I'm never stealthy anyway, so it's not like, me declaring stealth would have done anything. So it's like, well, I think they know we're here.
Oh, as you enter the mine, the path down, it's a twisting labyrinth of like 8-foot high, 3-foot wide tunnels that generally corkscrew in the ground. I use the term labyrinth pretty loosely because it's mostly a straight shot. There are side paths, but they're never very... It's more like branch mines in, say, Minecraft, if that makes sense, where you're like, it's a straight path is going this way, and then but the main path, which is a little wider than the other ones, is constantly cork spirals down. As you're going further down, you encounter no Briganocks or any other creature, but you still hear the sound of additional activity. After about 10 minutes, the click clacking of the mining picks back up. And after another 10 minutes of going down into the mine, I need all of you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm glad I spent my inspiration on some dumb shit.
Dumbass birds.
That's not good.
DC is 19.
Oh, I can't pass.
Failed.
No, fail. I would not have used my D4 to add to that because I rolled a 6.
Mhm.
I have a seven.
Can I refund that? I can't pass that.
Did anybody pass?
Anyone that would be within 10 feet of me can add a +2 to it, but
Oh.
if the DC is 19, then I also fail.
Great, I failed. I only failed by 10 then.
Yeah, I failed by 9.
Yeah, I failed by a lot too. So
I failed by 1.
You are magically put to sleep, unless you are somehow immune.
nope, I'm a human, so nope.
Oh, I +1 on saves.
Good campaign, guys.
Assuming that this is somehow not a poison or a disease.
So, if I roll a D4 and it comes up 4, does like a steamroller like roll over all of us and then there's no heal?
You guys were lulled into magical slumber by the rhythmic click-clacking of the mining picks.
Gross.
I don't know. That sounds kind of nice, actually.
All right. 1 hour later,
He was
You
still
guys-
alive, maybe.
you guys wake up, and you are restrained,
Gross.
prone,
Hmm.
and unable to stand. You
No,
are-
I'm not. No, I'm not.
You are. Hold on.
Can I? Okay.
Hold on. You
Let
are
him
pinned
finish.
to the. You are pinned to the floor. Gulliver's Travel style.
Okay.
And now, tell me what you're going to do.
I misty escape and turn invisible and free myself and move 60 feet away.
I
right.
want to take a look around to see if whoever, just to try and get
And
my
then
bearings.
I hide.
Yeah.
Before any of you get a excuse me. Before you get a chance to do that,
Okay.
you wake up and there's a man standing over you. A tall, slender human clad in dark leather armor greets you. His friendly
no.
face brightly illuminated by a tiny wisp of light that floats next to a mouse-sized creature perched on the human's shoulder. "Greetings, trespassers," says the human with a smile. "Didn't anyone ever teach you how to knock?"
I'm sorry, I forgot my pickaxe at home.
There wasn't a door on the mine.
It was a mining shaft. The door was open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we supposed
Uh,
to knock on?
He
Yeah,
laughs
well,
and says, "Well, could have knocked on the walls."
Who knocks on
Now,
a wall? That's just ridiculous.
Semantics.
Do any of you have a passive perception of higher than 14 besides Mrs. Fitzbiggins?
Mine is 14.
All right. So on the man's shoulder, who introduces himself as Molliver,
Mine.
you
Mine
see
is
a
14. Yeah.
okay. You see a Briganock. Those of you that have a passive perception of 14 or higher notice two more Briganocks hiding on his person. One tucked into a belt pouch, and the other peering over the rim of his left boot. The Briganocks don't actually speak, but Molliver will gladly speak to you and ask what you're doing in their thing. He asks if you're here on behalf of those horrible Corrids who are working with Endolin Moongrave.
They weren't working with her, at least as far as I could tell. They seemed pretty pissed at her.
We were told that the Briganocks are working for Moongrave.
Make me a persuasion check. This is a group check, so I will let all of you make it. DC is actually not very high, but like you need like several successes.
25.
I rolled an
Okay.
anus. Like an
All right.
actual anus.
15.
15? Okay.
11.
Okay, that's 3 passes. Molliver listens to you describe your interactions with the Briganocks, and that you are here to oppose Indolin Moongrave.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Our interactions with the Koroks, right? Not
Yeah,
Koroks.
Koroks. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Corrids,
Corrids.
and Briganocks. Listen,
Yeah.
these names are stupid. Anyway. Are you done?
Yeah, it was funny.
Okay.
Sorry, I was really confused. I was like, wait, what?
I get yelled at for saying Bev Morda, and now suddenly they're Koroks hanging out.
You found me. Okay,
I hate you all. Anyway,
this is your fault.
Budface is gonna ask me what the joke is again. Anyway, creatures. Molliver,
Did you reel his own brain there?
Molliver tells you that he is here helping to defend the Briganox from the incursions of the Cords. And that he says, if you're, what proof do you have that they are not working with Indolin? Yeah, as far as he has been told, they are supplying her with their hair, while the poor Briganox are being forced to make machines and other contraptions for her, under threat of painful retribution.
So they are working for her.
So are the Cords.
Okay, so everyone's working for her.
They're being strong-armed.
Right.
Into
but
it, yeah.
The fact remains. Now, pay attention, Sonny, she says as she's tied to the floor. Like, I asked you a question. Are the Briganox working for Moongrave?
He looks a little flabbergasted at your tone.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, he says, he shakes his head slowly and says, yes, under duress.
Do they want to be working for Moongrave?
Do you know what duress means?
I do, but I'm trying to speak slowly and use small words so you can follow the lesson.
Turvum speaks up and says, Mrs. Fitzbiggins, that isn't helping.
Leonardo will add, it's obvious that you've been turned against each other.
It is true that we have been told that they are supplying with a mother horn with Corrid hair, but we've been told that it's under duress on their side too.
So it is under duress. Basically, Creeping Lynn is capturing the Corrids, cutting their hair, and then releasing them.
Okay.
So they're not providing the hair with consent.
So they're providing hair, and you're providing contraptions. Nobody's providing anything with any sort of consent. It sounds to me as though what you need is for someone to throw Moongrave out. And to that
Let's explain how class warfare works.
To that end, restraining my companions and I to the floor of this mine works against your purposes.
Molliver sighs and says, "You're right," and he will.
Those are Mrs. Fitzbiggins' favorite 2 words.
He will let you go. After a moment, he confers with the Briganock on his shoulder, who introduces itself as Trig.
So as long as the other 2 aren't Calc and Geo.
The other 2 introduce themselves as Zarly and Oila.
Oila?
Yeah.
Oil with an A at the end?
No, Oyla.
Oh, okay. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more.
So what is Molliver's stake?
If you ask him, like, why, like, how he came to be with Briganox, he is pretty... he dodges those questions.
Fair enough. What does
He
he know
dodges
about a
them
secret passage?
Trig will say that before... They do have a secret passage, but to show it to them, you have to pass a test.
What is that test?
To pass the Riven Wish Chasm.
What? That doesn't mean anything to me out of context. Or Leonardo.
Molliver chimes in and says, "That's where the he explains that the Briganooks are in this mountain and they mine for wishes. Basically, anytime a person on the prime material plane makes a wish, a gem is deposited in this mountain, and the Briganooks mine those crystals. In the they keep the good wish stones, and they fashion them into fantastic jewelry, and then they throw the malignant wish stones, which are made from mortals that make sour or ill-intentioned wishes. They throw them into this chasm.
And we have to just cross the chasm then.
Yes.
Okay, simple enough.
So what's the catch?
He says, well, during the entire time he's leading you to this thing, he says, and it's about that time you come across the chasm. And the route you're on ends at this gaping chasm, on the far side of which is a grotto full of stalactites and stalagmites. A truss bridge, constructed of intricate wooden struts and beams, spans the 100-foot gap across the chasm. Beneath the bridge is darkness dotted with purple lights. And he says, well, here we are at jolly old Rivenwash Chasm. Best stay on the bridge and not dilly-dally.
You know what's interesting?
What?
Is that we impressed, and I'm telling this to Molliver and to any Briganox that want to hear it, that when we impressed upon the cores that we were here to oppose the hag, they danced with us and played games. When we made the same information available to the Briganox, they told us about some ridiculous test we had to cross this rickety chasm.
Testing our bravery. They don't want to send cowards into it. And I will strut across I will take the first step onto the planks and start crossing the chasm.
Put my hand on his shoulder. Hold on.
What you got, McDohl?
We have a floating lily pad.
With all my love, and with all the respect in the world, it's chasm, not chasm. Please don't say chasm ever again, or I'm going to have an aneurysm.
Chasm.
Chasm, thank you.
It's bad.
That's what I said.
Okay, proceed.
Proceed.
Yeah, I'm going to
Anyway,
unfold the lily pad because I don't want Turvum
We
to
have
go
a lily pad.
I don't want Turvum to go falling off this rickety bridge.
That defeats the purpose of it being a test.
No, it's not. It's a test of our intellectual nature. Think smarter, not harder.
Leonardo's just willing to cheat.
Cheating is very much within the spirit of the Feywild.
This is just silly.
I'm
There
not
are
gonna,
no rules.
I'm not
The
gonna
objective
force
was to get
Turvum-
across.
Yeah, I'm not going to force Turvum into the lily pad, but he's more than
Yeah.
welcome to ride it across
If he
with
said
us.
we merely need to get across, not necessarily by the means of a bridge, then yeah, I think we get on the lily pad.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys just fly across?
Well, I guess 3 of us do.
I'll cross my arms as very well. But
All right. So as you guys
float across 10 feet at a time.
It's a nice little journey so you can contemplate your choices in life and how silly this was.
I like to imagine that the lily pad makes the same sounds as like a Jetsons car.
Yes. Exactly.
Except it's sputtering because we've overloaded it, so it's
I'll
going
allow
at
it.
speed.
So as you get about to the midway point, three flaming skulls kind of fly out. They flit out. They look up at you,
Of course they
and then they just shake their heads and go back under the bridge.
Leonardo waves and then draws them.
Excellent.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins is just like, yep, there are the flaming skulls that were going to happen.
So as you cross the bridge, you reach a subterranean grotto. On the far side of the bridge, in the center of this grotto is a piebald pony wearing blinders. A small wooden hut is strapped to its back, and a faint clatter can be heard from inside the hut.
We weren't told what to
Malver-
expect on the other side of the chasm, were we?
No.
Okay.
Molliver and his Briganook companions, who just walked across the bridge and waved to the flaming skulls on their way across,
Sure.
explained to you that the hut is home of Obud, the oldest Briganook living in the mine. And his pony is named Keg. Obud will he appraises the wish gemstones that the other Briganocks bring him. Yeah. And as you approach, you hear some clanging on the inside. Like, I don't know. Like somebody's thrown like a whole bunch of pots and pans down some stairs. And the door on the front swings open and a tiny, wrinkled creature hobbles into view, accompanied by a wispy bulb of light. This ancient briganock peers at you through tiny spectacles and says in common, Big folk, how wonderful.
Not that big.
Hello there.
He greets you back and welcomes you into his grotto, introduces you to his lovely horse Keg, and then asks you why you've crossed the chasm to see him.
Yes, well, you see, we're searching for a way to the Motherhorn, that we were told lies through this mine.
Ah, and he replies, yes, Creeping Lynn's Theater of Terror, a dreadful place. How about a trade? I trade you the knowledge of the location of this tunnel, and in exchange for something that would benefit the Briganocks.
I'm gonna offer the Star Sapphire, whose magic is probably expired and I had forgotten about anyway.
Before you get a chance to speak up, Molliver speaks up and says, they bring word about the Corrids, and I have an idea. He very quickly explains to Obed that you had visited Lockberry Hinge and explains the misunderstanding that the Corrids think that the Briganocks work for Inland and vice versa. And he finds this very interesting. And when giving the opportunity, he says, after the tale is told, he will actually nod his head and says, yes, well, I guess then we must reach out to the Corrids, for the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That's what we've been going for this whole time.
Obed snaps his fingers, and a rock wall, an illusion on a rock wall, kind of lowers, and you see an 8-foot high, 3-foot wide tunnel in the back of the grotto. He tells you that this tunnel leads to a storage room beneath Motherhorn's stage.
Wow. It's a long tunnel.
Creeping Lynn is unaware of this tunnel. Let's keep it that way, aye?
Of course.
As you wish.
We never had this conversation.
And that is, and he bids you farewell and says that he is going to speak. He's going to search out the Corrids at Lockberry Hinge to resolve their differences.
I'm glad we are very, very far away from their tiny, ridiculous war.
We must warn you that the Corrids are unaware of the relationship because they still believe so. I don't know the best way to go in peace, but
Leonardo does. Leonardo gives them the Star Sapphire that the Queen gave him and says, I give this to you, acting as a liaison between your two factions.
This Star Sapphire is bigger than he is, so Molliver takes it.
Yeah, so bring this to them and say that Leonardo, Belshan, Mrs. Fitzbiggins, and Turvum have met with you and wish that your meeting is in good hope and faith and etc.
Molliver
picture
says that he will accompany them to facilitate this, and he thanks you for your assistance.
And draw a picture of you giving it to them.
Oh yeah, okay. Leonardo will very quickly do that too, and then sign it.
All right. And as you guys approach, you are now in Motherhorn. Let me find the spot on this map where you're supposed to be. I think it's down here somewhere. Yeah,
I get the feeling that if we had more time, that we would be involved in the arbitration of all of this. But
oh, for sure. Yeah. Do we level up again?
Yes.
Okay.
You do.
Oh no.
I have a question for you.
The answer is 42.
Level
It
42?
could
My
be.
goodness.
Wow. Oops, that's not the spell I want. Does the spell hallucinatory terrain allow me to manipulate things like the skyline?
What does it say?
Says you make a natural terrain in a 150 feet cube in range look, sound, and smell like some sort of other natural terrain. And the terrain that I would choose would be like moonlit prairie. That is about to have an eclipse.
I would say no on that. Sorry.
Okay, then I'm just gonna take major image, which
All right, so you guys are
will do what I
currently in
want.
this room right here. And while you guys are leveling, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I have to
Okay.
pee.
Okay. Let me make myself tiny. Level up. Oh, I gotta pick another invocation? Don't do that. Don't do that.
I got another rune at 7th level.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay.
And I get my aura. So this, let me see if I can find the aura that's actually on my sheet. Where would it be on my sheet?
Spells, manage spells.
Oh, I'm taking Storm Rune. This is going to be great. This is a really good one. Taking Storm Runes.
Major.
All right.
Excellent.
First off, is my air conditioner
There we go.
audible?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Because it's hot as balls in here.
Alright, so anybody that is standing within 5 feet of me at the start of their turn has their walking speed increased by 10 feet for that turn.
Oh, that's nice.
So if you're standing next to me at the start of your turn, you have 10 extra feet of movement for whatever you wish to do.
So I get to select another giant rune, and but on top of that, I can also use a. I can also. What I can do is if any creature that I see within 60 feet of me is hit by an attack roll, I can use my reaction to force a re-roll and use the new roll. So it's not quite disadvantage, but it's it can mitigate like a crit basically. Some other stuff, and my third rune that I took. This is the cool one. I took the Storm rune. Until I have advantage while I'm bearing the rune, I have advantage on intelligence, arcana checks, and it can't be surprised as long as I'm incapacitated. But the fun one is that I can activate it to for 1 minute. When you or another creature you can see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, saving throw, or an ability check, I can use the ability to cause it to have advantage or disadvantage. So that's fun.
All right,
I
is
have to
everybody
step
level?
on myself for 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Belshan, that's going to be super important because you're going to need to impose disadvantage on a very particular saving throw.